Oh my. I'm not showing this to Missy's treasure chest, am I? Let me go out and come. Alright, good morning. No, I thought I was on the wrong channel, but I'm not. It's just my avatar's the little treasure chest. That's what it is. So, thought I'd come on just for a few minutes this morning, see if any friends come by. Hope everybody's doing good. And sometimes most of the time whenever it comes on me to come on, I do. But if you're listening to the replay, I hope you're doing well. Uh, uh, yeah, what I could hope for anybody would be a sound mind. What a gift a sound mind is. One time, it's not been that long ago, a few months ago, I was driving and just thinking towards the Lord, talking towards the Lord. And I had so much on my mind, so much on my plate at that time, which seems like it's always, but sometimes I'm able to better deal with a lot of things on my plate than other times. Sometimes it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. One little thing might just send me over the edge because I'm not able to just balance it all in my mind. And it was one of those times. I was just like, I just can't take any more, Lord. And I was like, I don't even know which decision to make and all these different circumstances. Some of the situations were sticky. I just didn't know what to do. And I was asking for, here's what I said. I said, Lord, my mind is so cluttered and there's so much swirling on around me that I don't even know what to ask for help for. I'm coming to you and I don't even know what I need help with. Y'all ever felt like that? And something came to me about a sound mind. I've read about that and everything many times, but it came into my mind. That's what I needed. I need a sound mind. If I had a sound mind, then I could make good decisions. I would know what to do and I'd be able to handle it all, you know? And so I said, yeah, instead of asking for help in this area or that area or what to do here, there, and everywhere, I asked for a sound mind. And I don't really know what that kind of means. Uh, Seems like a very deep topic to me. And you see, the way I feel about it is if you ask something, you will receive. Um, yeah, if you ask in sincerity, you will receive. And here's the kicker. Sometimes you don't realize you have received what you asked for because it comes in such unusual ways that you would have never guessed. Good morning, Myra. Let's see your little face. Is that a sleepy face? Did you fall asleep last night or I always miss your presence? Your presence is a delight and you have a strong presence about you. And I treasure it. So I didn't get to talk to you, but did you like your milk glass vase to Socrates, Aristotle, and Plato? You know, I didn't realize the significance of those three until I was talking to my husband about it. He was like, oh, that's nice. I was like, I just don't understand. I know all those three names, but I don't understand what was so cool about it that they were all together. What would they be doing having a conversation? And he said, oh, yeah, they're definitely having a conversation. because they were three of kind of the same minds, and they were philosophers, right? I love philosophers. I think I think maybe I don't know if that's a positive thing or negative, but my mind is philosophical. I never rarely see things at the surface level of it. That's why I have that thinker wrinkle on my forehead between my eyes, because I'm thinking deeply so many times. Oh, you were so tired. Yeah, I figured you might have drifted off or oh wow, liquor decanter. Well, I hope you liked it. I hope you liked it. I can't even remember what all you got, but I hope you were pleased. And I'm so thankful that worked out the way it was supposed to. Believe it or not, when you had told me that happened, not trying to get too detailed about stuff, but my first inclination and thought was to wished I could just come to Florida and make sure that package got to your door or help you. Um, but you know, Florida, that's a good, probably near 7 hour drive for me. Founders of the Western civilization. Oh wow. Well, hey, daughter-in-law, how are you doing? Cleaning. Yes, I have felt like I didn't know what to pray, and I thank the Lord for the Holy Spirit. Amen. I love and miss you. Well, I love and miss you too, honey. And I hope that the Lord has lightened your burden somewhat. I really empathized with the things you were going through. I've been through that myself. And I tell you what, just to be a mother alone is one of the, I don't mean it in a bad way to say burden, but it's a heavy load. It has its joy and its greatness about it, but you know, it's just like your heart's not your own anymore. I got my Sunday class. Yes, I hope they enjoyed that. Yeah, I hope they did. So yeah, I felt a little chit chatty this morning. Thought I'd come on here and chit chat a little and see if anybody came by and ask how they were doing. Um, I'm sitting with a lot of different thoughts lately. I will tell y'all this that happened to me. Well, he's truly being your strength. Well, that's wonderful, but when he is truly your strength, it's always in a hard time because in order for him to be your strength, you have to be drained of it, don't you think? Yeah. You can only learn his strength in your weakness. I will. I always keep you in my heart and mind. I will, honey. Know that things are going to go the way they're supposed to go. You know, I really believe that. Helps me to not be so anxious uh, about the what's coming because I know that. Well, I really believe that. You know, the Lord is guiding us, and sometimes He guides us and leads us through the dark, hard times. But there's something, you know, there that would change us, grow us up, humble us. You never know what it could be. And so it's hard, but I accept the things that come to me. what I was going to share with y'all that happened, this had never happened before. I had to stay the night at my sister's Friday night because I was out of town. My daughter was having a basketball tournament, and it was about 15 minutes from my sister, so that worked out great. And my sister was so hospitable, even though she had come home from work. She does hair, and she had brought pizza. Uh, and let's see, she had me a bag of clothes she gave me. They were my size. I got a good shower, had a comfy bed to sleep in, and it was just very helpful. But anyway, as I was going to sleep that night, now I was already asleep, and I was just exhausted. And I think I went to bed at about 11:30 p.m. and I got up about 6 because I was going yard selling in the bigger city. And I went to sleep, and sometime in the middle of the night, I want to say I dreamed it. I was asleep, so I had to have dreamed it. But it wasn't like a dream, it was real. And what happened was, so that day on Friday, I went to my daughter's basketball tournament and I visited several thrift shops, in and out, had to get gas a couple of times, did a lot of driving, and it was a very busy day. And in the middle of my sleep, something came to me in my mind. It was so real. And what happened was, all the people that I had encountered that day came into my mind while I was asleep. It was just like a recount or a revisiting of the past few hours that day. And it wasn't necessarily about where I was at in the dream, like which store or which place, but it was every person that I had encountered that day. And I saw a brief, like, recap of me interacting with them. From the kind of older man whose daughter played on the team that opposed my daughter's team. I sat by him on the bleachers and we chit chatted a little. And that man came into my mind in our conversation. When I was at one thrift store, of course, I didn't know the area. So this older lady, she was kind of bent over her cart. She was about to check out at the thrift store. I was ahead of her. And while I was checking out, I said, do you guys know of another thrift store nearby? And the older lady behind me that was bent over her cart, she had oxygen. She said, let's see. Yeah, and she named one to me. She's like, that's a really nice one. I've been wanting to go to it. Everybody's telling me about it, but I hadn't felt well enough to go. And I thanked her for taking the time to even answer my question. And I said, I really hope you get to feeling better so you can go see it. So in the middle of my sleep, that woman came into my mind, the one with the oxygen on. While we were out, I was in one thrift store and my daughter left the key to the car. She'd put the key in to turn the air on or roll the windows down or something. She left the key all the way forward. And I noticed as I was coming back to the car, my lights were on. I thought, well, got out there to crank the car. It was dead. She had left it forward. It drained the battery. It's an older car. And there we were stuck in a big city. I'm depending on my GPS to get around. I had nobody to call that wasn't an hour and a half away. And this car we got recently, a good little deal just to have a second car, and I didn't have any battery cables in it. So I'm so thankful I didn't take out my anxiety or frustration on my daughter too bad. But I think she did learn a lesson from that. But anyways, so I said, I guess I'm going to just start going up to strangers and asking for help. And I did. I asked 2 or 3 men, and they, while passing and walking, they didn't even stop and said, nope, I sure don't have any battery cables. That was my first thing I had to find. Then I had to find somebody kind enough to jump me off. So this older couple pulled in. I thought they were a couple, but they ended up being brother and sister. And I kind of approached her and I had my hands together like I was pleading. And I said, ma'am, I'm sorry to bother, but would you happen to have jumper cables? She said, yes, I do. She's kind of real prim and proper. And I said, well, could I pay you to jump me off? My battery's dead. She said, no, I will not accept that. And I thought, oh, you know. But what she was saying is, yes, I will help you, but no, I won't accept any money. And she proceeded to pull over closer to me. And she was a feisty little lady. And she was telling me about battery cables. She's telling me about this, that, and the other, all these tips while she's getting me jumped off that work. And we even had a little conversation there about, I thought it was funny because about, y'all remember my yard sale video I posted, what, 3 weeks ago maybe? This man was driving his old hot rod and it went dead in the middle of my driveway. He couldn't get it to crank. And it was kind of blocking my driveway, and I could tell he was had anxiety about it. He felt bad because he's blocking my driveway. I was like, no worries. People can drive around in my yard. And anyway, we chit-chatted and I jumped him off. Good morning, Brian. And I remembered that while that lady was jumping me off Friday, I remembered I had just jumped somebody off myself. And I said, well, I really hope your kindness comes back to you. And she said, oh, it will. It always does. She said, it's like sowing a seed. And whatever seed you sow, it will return. It'll grow and you'll reap that. And she goes, it's really just God. And I said, I totally agree with you. And in my dream, I saw that woman talking with me. Good morning, Aaron. All right, I hope you have a great time at church. Thank you for stopping in and saying hello. So, like I said, not trying to go on forever, but in my sleep, all the people I had encountered that day, whether it was at a gas station, and one of them was too. It was a different, I don't know what ethnicity he was, but I'd went in really hoping there was a bathroom and really hoping their gas pumps had gas, because y'all know we're having the finding gas issue over here pretty bad on the East Coast. I don't know about y'all, but he showed me the bathroom, and y'all was so tickled because it was a nice, clean, private bathroom. I had to use it. And anyway, and two, I was going to buy a cup of ice, and he gave me the ice for free. So that man came back in my sleep. And what came to me was, in all of my busyness throughout that day, and all of my thrifting, and all of my daughter's basketball games, really whatever it was I was doing was not the significance of the day, but what was significance of the day was the people that I encountered while I did these things. And something came to me too. Now, this may sound strange, but this is what came to me. In my sleep, after I saw all these people again, which that was just strange in itself, not in a bad way. It was kind of in a magnificent way. But after that happened, all the people came back in my mind. It was like a flashback of something I had asked the Lord many times in my journey with him. And it was just like I heard myself saying, let me see you, Lord. I want to see you. You know, I don't know, I just talked to him about that. I'd love to lay eyes on you. What would it be like? Will you show me? Moses asked, will you show me yourself, Lord? And anyway, that came back in my mind of me asking that to him. And this came into my mind in my dream that I have shown myself to you. many times. And the way it came to me was that he reveals himself to us through people and the little kindnesses and the little warm glances in the eyes and the little, I don't know, pardoning or mercy or, when somebody shows us grace and overlooks our offense or our bad attitude or you name it. That somehow or another, that's what came to me in my dream, that he surely does reveal himself. And it is through people. So you don't have to agree with that. I can't wrap my mind around what that's about, but it's what came to me in my dream after the replay of all the people. And I think of that scripture. It says, if you search for me with all your heart, I will surely let you find me. And how many times have we found him and we just might not know, you know? So that's the kind of thing I'm ruminating in my mind, making my thinker wrinkle just a little deeper. uh, Two, I had shared with y'all about my little jewelry channel, my little knickknacks, my treasures. Of course, I am trying to earn a wage with that, building a little small business. But it's come to me several times, the reminder that this is not about a piece of paper money. This is not about a piece of jewelry. This is about the people that are being crossed with my path. And a piece of jewelry is only the little connector, you say. And sometimes I get nervous before I go on a live stream to do a little sale. And you got all these thoughts running through your head about what you've spent, what you need to make, it's just a lot to it. And as these thoughts were running through my mind yesterday, right before going online, here come the reminder to me. Just floated right into my mind. Just relax. Whether you sell, you don't sell, whatever happens, it's not about that. Just pay attention to the people. And that was very helpful for me because after I got to going, I just remembered, just enjoy the people, just love the people, just be concerned about them. And that helps me to stay focused, that reminder that comes to me, which I believe is from the Lord. I don't know, honey. Nobody's invited me. And I wouldn't blame them because I feel pretty like a very uninteresting type of person. But if somebody did, I probably would. Though I don't know that I'd have anything significant to say. But I'm thankful for getting to go on Johnny's because I met many people that's coming to my channel that I didn't even realize were there listening. Uh, is my audio okay, y'all? I got a text came through, but I just put do not disturb on. So that came to me lately. Oh, thank you, Brian. Yeah, that made me happy to see you there that day because I know you. I don't know, when you're in a group that you don't know, if somebody comes, whether in person or what, it just makes you feel more at home and more calm because there is somebody there. Oh, I don't mind, Myra. Okay, audio's good. Thank you, Brian. Well, I'm so glad you do, darling. helps me to get out what's on my mind too, because this is my journal. And so from time to time, I go back and listen. And I might learn a little something, because when I'm getting the thoughts out of my mind, they're not, it's not all very coherent to me, but sometimes I'll go back and listen. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I don't know, it just brings a little more understanding for me. So, do y'all have any topics? We might, well, it's kind of a one sided discussion, but I'll see if y'all have anything to say or bring up or anything. Not gonna be on too long. Just had a little energy to chit chat, so I thought I would. Just sitting here waiting to see. But Brian, I've enjoyed listening to you talking at Richard's. Amazing how many nice validations, confirmations, whatever you want to call it, you've been receiving. I feel like the Lord helps you along like that, because so many times something might happen, I'd say, was that you, Lord? Is that you showing me something? Is that you trying to tell me something? I'll ask that, and the next thing, something will just happen to drive that point home, and I'm like, wow, he really does communicate with his people, y'all. Amazing. He really has thoughts and a heart and a mind and wisdom and everything you could ever imagine or want or desire, and those things you don't even desire yet. And he's willing to share it with no cost to those who are curious, to those that are looking and searching. He really is there to help us along. And it's most wonderful to me getting to know this being that I can't put into words, that is the source of all goodness, is an eternal running stream with no beginning and no end. And you remember the trees that are planted by the water, their leaves will not wither, their roots will go down deep and draw up nourishment from Him. We're the trees. And if you can just reach out and find the source, you know, I hope one day I will be satisfied in fully knowing the source, as it's just a little taste here and there. It's just a little water at a time the roots are growing, you know, because oh, too much water will flood the tree, kill the tree, uproot the tree. Good morning, Grace. Oh, do you have a nice little Sunday off? Oh, I'm so glad if you do. You might have to go in later, though. I don't know. Thank you for sending me that picture of that little barrette in your hair. I didn't know if you were going to want to collect that or wear it, but I was just tickled to say you did decide to wear it. It's like I had heard something, y'all might have to, said something about, why store up that nice fine china? Use it. Get it out. Fix you a bagel with cream cheese. Eat it off that plate. You know? Enjoy it. You know? And I was tickled to say you were enjoying that. And that was just an 80s throwback to me. the barrettes. So I'm glad you liked that. And honestly, y'all, just about that, I don't want to say fussed at, but kind of critiqued living in the now. I hear you. Critiqued about the little items I do sell that, you know, that I should be selling them at more of their value rather than a little over what I purchased them for. And to this one particular person, I said, well, I can't go against my conscience. Uh, I try to keep my conscience clear. And and too, y'all, when I started that, don't mean to go, I'm going all over the place. I'm just talking as y'all speak. The idea came to me about pricing and how to do is to bring a price that I would hope to find. If I really like, say, for example, that little Brett made in Paris, I believe it was, France. Yeah. Say I really just, oh, that caught my eye and I loved it, and maybe I collect things like that, or I just liked it. And say, yeah, they sell these things. I could find them online, but they might be $25. Is price the stuff as if you would hope to find it, as if you saw a treasure and you would hope you could find that price attached to it. And that's kind of how I try to do it. I feel like it might be like do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. So that's kind of just so far what I'm adhering to. And some people around me don't understand my philosophy on things or why I do it. I don't quite understand either. But when it's not about the money and it's not about the items and it's about the people, you think a little differently, you know? So that's just kind of the way I'm trying to do it. And Myra, your advice or tip or your knowledge you shared with me has been most helpful. I keep thinking about that, if you know which one I'm talking about. So it's just a learning experience, y'all. I feel like I'm talking too much about myself. That's, it's kind of a bigger, newer thing happening to me, so I do talk out my thoughts on it. I'm sure in a year my thoughts will be different on everything, uh, more well developed thinking about it, but it's not so much that I have a business mind about it, but I have a people mind about it. People minded, you know? Is there something y'all want to? Uh, that's true, Grace. Very true. I still don't understand them enough. I want to. But rather than me going on about things about me, I did start to stream to say, how are y'all doing? Is there anything y'all want to share or say or, whatever? So that's why I started it. Y'all, you hear the birds. I'm just out here relaxing. My husband's in there tutoring. I know people think it's weird to sit in the car a lot. Well, I don't a lot, but when I come on here, I do. I got in that habit when my dad lived with me for about 9 years, and my kids were younger. My house was so busy, I needed a spot to get away and be to myself. Sometimes I couldn't leave the house with little kids. I just would go out in the driveway and sit in my car. It was just like a little getaway. You know what I mean? And it was a habit, and I still do it to this day. But I was telling you I look bad, but I turn my camera on a minute if that helps anything. Um, just in my lounge clothes. I do get to rest a little today, but I gotta work on some things. The awards day for the high school is tomorrow, and the seniors are walking in their cap and gown. Oh, I'll probably cry just to see my son in his cap and gown. Phew, hot mess there, y'all. How good, Grace? I believe it's wrong to keep things stored up. I give people Rangers. Yes. Yeah. And that's your thoughts about it. I guess some people's intentions are different too about maybe they're, I don't know, collecting something that it'd be in good shape. They leave it as an inheritance maybe for a job. I don't know. I say, I know a few guys that have some really nice hot rods. Oh, one had a just cherry red Corvette. Never drove that thing. Never drove it. I think it had 6 miles on it. My daddy was telling me about it. I guess there would have been a lot of enjoyment could have been had, but it was just kind of saving it up, you know? Did anybody want to come up? If I'll share the link if you'd like to chit chat a few minutes. I got a few minutes here. I'll put that there and feel free. You can leave your camera off, turn it on. I'm going to turn mine back off. Some hot mess to look at. Uh, so, yeah, that's just a few little things that was on my mind. My poor little teacup chihuahua Zoe still hobbling on 3 legs. She's so pitiful, especially when she's trying to use the bathroom. And breaks my heart that she's going downhill. Good morning, Justin. How are things out in Washington? What are these links to? I ain't even added any wrenches on people on here in a while, y'all. I hadn't even thought about it. I don't know who has one, who don't, because I can't even see wrenches at all. I did a fun kitties video. Oh, nice. I'll check it out. I didn't get a notification on a video for you. I'm going to have to make sure I somehow still subscribe. Yes. Emotional attachments. Uh-huh. Now I have that on my kids' little sports jerseys and shirts. I have a drawer full of those. Of course, I would like to put them together in like a quilt type spread sometime. I think it'd be great to be kept that way or displayed that way. But yeah, a little attachments to things. Yeah, that makes sense. I've got my grandpa who passed away, his old Bible. It's got all his notes and scribble. He was was he Methodist? No, I'm trying to think. He was a pastor. Oh yeah, I wish y'all could see this woodpecker. It is huge. I'll turn it that way, but I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. Where'd it go? Y'all, oh, it moved. You hear it? That's the biggest one I've ever seen. Gorgeous red thing on that. I mean to tell you, it was probably that big. That was the biggest woodpecker I've ever seen. Everyone has a wrench here that's commenting. Oh, okay, cool. They're here, hubby, talking to the dogs. Okay, you just posted it. Nice. So Pastor Justin Morris, if you guys want to subscribe with him, he shares about real life stuff. very down to earth, and love him and his family. Let me go ahead and turn my camera back off. Yeah, I just wanted to say hello. So there's the link if anybody wants it. I don't have a long time, but I have some time. And just kind of wanted to check in with whoever might come by. Oh, something else somebody told me. Oh, this was really nice. And it was so funny that somebody told me this because I've heard it before and it stuck out to me. Excuse me. Let's see. Someone new to my other channel, can't remember her name, commented on one of my little videos. I don't know if y'all saw it. And actually, I think I actually posted it to Treasure Chest. Yes, I still get it. Thank you so much. Of course, I think of you every time it comes. And yes, I do enjoy it. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, I accidentally posted this video. I just realized that this morning to my Treasure Chest channel, but it was supposed to go on this channel. And it was some kind of little video I did about gentleness, a lesson that came to me. I don't know, some of y'all might have seen it about the convenience store and the woman behind the counter. And it had to do with putting my debit card in the machine, but it just spoke to me about gentleness. Anyway, somebody, I think she commented on that video. And it was talking about angels unawares. It was talking about, people were talking about that. It was talking about, here's what she said. She said, possibly an angel sent to you. Mr. Rogers always said, look for the helpers. And I had heard that when I actually watched Mr. Rogers' show back during 9/11. And Mr. Rogers had the love for children, you know. I loved Mr. Rogers. And he had the heart for the children. And he was trying to do his little Mr. Rogers' neighborhood show at that time, speaking directly to the children that would be watching TV with all this 9/11 stuff going on. And that's when I believe he had said that. He said, look for the helpers. He was telling the children, if you ever get in a scary situation, something happens, goes wrong, there's always helpers. Look for the helpers. And this lady that I haven't got to know yet made that comment. And it reminded me, and I believe that's true, y'all. Helpers. Yeah, that's a goal I aspire for, to be a helper. Think about that. How many opportunities come by us every day to be a helper? And we sure do appreciate those that cross our paths, whether stranger or people we know, family, whoever it might be, y'all, that can lend us a helping hand. Don't we? In our times of need, look for the helper. Because the Lord is our help. And how does he help us so many times but through the hand of another person reaching out to us? The ear of another person bending close to listen. The heart of another person. Is that not him? You know, the scripture says he abides in us. And surely he's abiding in others. I think that's amazing. Okay, have a great day, Justin. Thank you for coming in. Yes, Rogers was a gift. And didn't his little wife pass away not too long ago? They say behind every good man is a good woman. You know, sometimes the little women don't get the recognition, like, you know. Y'all believe that? Behind every good man's a good woman. And maybe it could be said behind every good woman's a good man. I don't know. Just according. I couldn't have said that about my husband 13 years ago, but I could say it about him today. This is yes, that is insane. 20th anniversary 9/11. I guarantee we could all remember that moment when I was in such confusion of what was going on. I was a lot younger then. I was at work. I was 10 when he passed. Oh, let's see. See if I missed a call. Oh, yeah, you watched a documentary about. I don't think I've watched a documentary. I might have seen bits and pieces of stuff, but that would be interesting. And I did watch a documentary about Bob Ross. I love him. And I actually watched a thing. It says, where is Bob Ross's paintings? Where are they all at? Well, there's this one woman. It's got about every one of them in her house. She was in some way an assistant to them, or her family was. And she's obtaining any ones that are left up. She's got them. That's why there are not so many in circulation. I don't know if Bob Ross smoked pot. I mean, I'm from the area, that's what we call it. It's many names for it, and I'm not advocating for or against it really because uh, different uses of that herb, but he just seemed to me like he was, I don't know, the air he breathed was pot or something because he was just so very chill. Bob Ross, what do y'all think? I don't know. I'm not trying to degrade him anyway. I mean, he was very relaxed and chill. I believe he must have had a sound mind. Yeah, there's some people's minds I wouldn't mind being inside, but there's some people's I would. And sometimes that's my own mind, y'all. Sometimes I don't want to be in my own mind. You know what I mean? Hmm. Oh, so you were 10 years old. Wow. Yes, he did have a peaceful voice. Hmm. Sure enough. And if you haven't ever, it's lots of his replayed paintings and sessions on YouTube. If you ever need a little break for your mind, just sit and watch one of those. Very soothing. He had really had a way about bringing you into present moment. And present moment's kind of the safest place many times. You know, how many times are we living in the past and the future? Whether it by a few minutes, a day or two, it's constant. But he was just had a very good gift of honing you in on the present moment. And there you might find a little more peace for your mind if you can, you know, set down all the worries and anxieties for a minute and give yourself the gift of just being in the moment, just looking at what's right in front of you. Now, there are some times where we are in a present moment that seems to go on for an eternity when it's a bad thing, a scary thing. Say a loved one or a child gets into a terrible car accident. Well, that's not a very pleasurable present moment, is it? But there are many times where we could do that. And that's something I've been working on, trying to give myself permission and the freedom without guilt to be in the moment, and set down the burdens and the worries and the cares and the troubles just for a few minutes, y'all, every day. Because most of the worries and concerns and troubles are not even my own. There are all these people connected to me's burdens. But I feel like they're on me and I'm carrying them in my mind and heart. And sometimes I feel guilty to not think about them. So I'm trying to have a few minutes. Usually it's when I'm going to bed at night and space myself away from them for a while. Because, sometimes we get to feeling that the whole world's going to collapse if we're not thinking about a certain thing, if we're not trying to figure it out, if it's not on our mind. If you're like me, sometimes you might feel guilty for not thinking about that thing, like it's your responsibility. And sometimes we do carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, and we need a little rest. And it's okay to take a little rest. It's it's helpful. It's I don't know, your soul needs to be refreshed and replenished, and your mind needs a rest. I have to tell myself this is okay, Misty. You can distance yourself from all those burdens for just a few minutes as you drift off to sleep and not feel guilty about it. You can go to sleep in peace and the world will still keep turning. Things will be as they're going to be. You don't have that much power or that much responsibility, or you're not that supreme of a person that if you set it aside for a minute, it's going to collapse. You know, sometimes I feel that way. But all this isn't up to me. I'm not in control of this world. I'm not in control of all these people that are in my life. You know, I don't know how to explain it to y'all, but sometimes it feels that way. I don't know about for y'all, but so if you're like that, I hope and pray you will find the freedom to be free for a minute and let your mind rest. You know, do something you enjoy doing for a minute. Get lost in a song, you know, enjoy a walk in nature, whatever you can do. Do a word puzzle and let the worries sit over there to the side for a little while. I hope you can do that too. Good morning, Dennis. How are you doing, dear friend? And aren't you glad that you're not in control of this world? Everything doesn't depend on you. Aren't you glad? Oh, yeah, go look at the clouds. Of course, Dennis would tell us. Looking at the clouds with Dennis says, go look at the clouds. Oh, yes. And boy, that's something I need to add that to my bucket list for the summer. It's not extravagant. So far, it's to enjoy a good book. How long has it been since I've let my imagination go wild and enjoy a good book? I want to do that this summer. And now I need to add sit in a chair, lay on a blanket. Sorry about that noise. Let me mute. And see what all I can see up in the clouds. I did that as a kid, and it was the most fun. And I remember introducing my children to cloud watching to see what we could see. All your imagination can really just have a good time doing that. So that's a great idea, Dennis. Thank you for sharing that. Y'all go watch the clouds a little while. I also love to watch lightning storms. Where I'm at, there's something about, I don't know what direction that would be, north, an area called Statesville, North Carolina. And it's always the most amazing storms way out in that area that I never hear the clap of thunder, but I can see the lightning shine, and it is gorgeous. Another thing I love to do in the summer is watch the lightning bugs or the fireflies. I mean, that is just amazing. I have a patch of dark woods across the street from me, and boy, they like to flutter and fly through there later at night when it's really dark, not too much light pollution. You'll see all those fireflies flighting and lighting up here, there, and everywhere. You can't keep up with it. It's like a firework continuously fizzling and going off. It's amazing. Beautiful. Okay, good. I'm glad you're doing good, Dennis. I hope your mouth is out of the pain. I don't know if you were able to get that attended to, but I always empathize with mouth and teeth pain. That's, I've heard people say they'd rather have a baby than have a toothache, and I almost would agree. At least you get a beautiful thing out of labor. uh, but oh yeah, put them in a little jar, put some holes, but you gotta let them go eventually to watch that. Isn't that amazing? I read about that one time. What is this chemical reaction going on? I think it's in their abdomen causing that. Amazing. So if nobody wants to come up, or if there's nothing else anybody wants to bring up that we could just ruminate or discuss, I might go ahead and end. Oh, let's see here. Visit the oral surgeon. Oh, well, you will feel better afterwards, that's for sure. Dennis. I hope that'll happen soon for you. I like to go to the coast. Oh, Grace, you know what? I would love to meet you in person. I could see that happening. Would you like to meet in person, Grace, and go have a coffee or something? Or some tea somewhere down in Southport? I hope it's alright I shared that. Grace is from where I spent the first about 3.5 years of my life. And my aunts, my uncles, my mom's siblings still live there. And boy, Southport, I tell you, has been through with these last few hurricanes. It's really changed a lot there. The landscape, everything. Well, I'll tell you what, Grace, I will remember this because I actually wanted to try. I haven't been to the beach in 10 plus years, except for one minor trip when my husband's mother died and unexpectedly, and we had to rent a U-Haul and go down and clean out a little mobile home she had down there as just a little second home and carry some things back. And that was just a quick, very sad trip. We did eat at a little seafood shack on the beach, but it was cold and wet, rainy. I believe it was in February or March. And that's been, jeez, probably near 6, 7, 8 years. Yes, I'm not ashamed. And my daughter has a tournament down there in June, and she'll be with her dad, and they're going to take their vacation about 9 or 10 days down there for that tournament. I think the tournament's 3 or 4 day tournament. And I would love to go if it's just for the weekend, but I don't know if I'll make it. Um, but when I do, it will be that way, Grace. It'll be uh, Southport, Carolina Beach, all that area. It's where my family is. And I would absolutely just love to maybe even, whatever we could. So next time I go to the beach, Grace, I'd love to hang out with you for whatever time you have, day or so. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't it be fun to meet your online friends, y'all? Oh, okay. Never lived in Florida, but South Carolina and Alabama. All righty. Britt's Donuts. The name kind of rings a bell, but I'm not for sure, Grace. There was a little Squiggly's ice cream shop. Is that still there? Oh, was that Squiggly's? Ah, I can't remember. I believe it was. I had the best fresh homemade waffle cone made right on the iron there with it was a strawberry cheesecake ice cream homemade with the bits of graham cracker and the bits of cream cheese and oh, I can taste it now. I've been craving an ice cream cone, but I loved it. It was at Squiggly's, and I'm not sure exactly Southport, maybe. Oh, I'd love to go to Squiggly's if they're still there. Okay, the best. Oh my gosh, are they like? Yeah, now me too, Brian. Are they like the light and airy, like Krispy Kreme, or are they the more dense donuts, such as Dunkin' Donuts, at this place you're talking about? I appreciate both textures. Let's say, who are you even talking to? I don't know. I'm just talking. Oh no, stung at a gel. Oh no, I don't think I've ever been stung by jellyfish. But you know what I heard to do? Put urine on it. Y'all ever heard that? Uh, yeah, put urine on your jellyfish sting to take the sting out, the burn. Oh, they're light. Melt in your mouth. Let's say you got to watch that time of year you're going in the water. Yeah, yeah. Yes, that or vinegar. Okay, vinegar. Vinegar has so many good uses. If anybody doesn't do this, you could, if you do buy fabric softener, you could just skip the fabric softener and put a little vinegar in, a little white vinegar. So it's super inexpensive alternative to a fabric softener, and it helps with smell and it helps with the softness. And while we're on the subject, uh, I love minimalism and frugalism, if that's a word. Frugal's a word, but I don't know about frugalism. I love the concept and idea of it. I'm somewhat of a minimalist. I guess if you compare me to other Americans, but if you compare me to um, some cultures in China or different areas, I am probably extremely wealthy and rich in comparison to those lifestyles. But in American speak, I'm somewhat of a minimalist. Oh wait, Piggly Wiggly, yes. We call it the pig. But so I watched this girl that talks about that type of thing, and I like this tip about the laundry detergent. It is concentrate and we use way too much. And we can save a ton by putting a bare tad in there. And I do that now. Clothes are just as fresh and clean. And your laundry detergent will last you, oh, I don't know, a long time. And also on the dryer sheets, if you use those, one dryer sheet will last me many loads of laundry. You only need a pinch of it. And, of course you can just use a damp washcloth. If you throw that in, so they also do they use aluminum balls? Then there's the wool balls that you can use for dryer sheets. Minimalism is fascinating. Yeah, I think so too. Now I do feel I have watched people that, oh, okay, sand. Okay, cool. I did watch a woman one time, and I don't condemn her for it. I think it's great if you can do that. But it got down to the toilet paper squares, and she actually gave you a little demo of how to use 3 or 4 squares of toilet paper to wipe your poop. And she'd show you how to fold it, refold it, and this, that, and the other. And for me, I just, I didn't need to go that far. I use an ample supply of toilet paper uh, to wash my ample tail. So um, I'm just not too concerned about that. I have a cousin who was so minimalistic. Wow. Uh-huh. A lot of people are trying to go that route. Isn't that something? Wow. So I lived in a little place wherever he lived, and wasn't nothing in there but enough to fit in a book bag. Mm. And my kids pick on me about some things. I don't. All of my what you would call Tupperware and storage bowls are reusable butter bowls, sour cream bowls, and it's so funny because they love sour cream and they use it for a lot of different things, and they could never find it because there's 10 sour creams in the fridge usually at one time, containers. And one of them sour cream, and the rest are leftover corn, you name it. And I don't realize when I say it's right there in the refrigerator that there's many containers of sour cream, and only one has sour cream. And I like to save my bread bags. I keep them in a little old canister and use them for, I don't know, to tie my cookies up in. If I opened a cookie package, I'll tie them up in that old bread bag. Uh, just whatever. So I do like to keep my bread bags. And I actually keep straws and wash them, and I get picked on about that. I have a little canister I keep all my straws in. I don't know. I just don't see the point of having to buy more. And sometimes, say, if I get a drink from somewhere and certain places have good quality straws, I'll uh, I'll say, now that's a good straw. Don't throw that away. My kids just shake their head. And I know this is getting weird, but I've even, if a little styrofoam plate um, didn't have nothing but chips on it or something, I'll just rinse that off and reuse that. I get picked on about from my kids about that too. What they don't realize, if I didn't have those children, I probably wouldn't need to do those things. Oh my, you know. But anyway, that's shared with a little bit of my strangeness with y'all now. It ain't strange to me, but it is to other people. So my mom uses the containers too. Yeah, sure enough. Sure enough, why not? Oh, my. I'm going to have to get a little work done. I could put it off till the morning, but I actually kind of thought about coming back on this afternoon. Either I'm going to record a video and show some nice rare items, and I haven't done a video yet where people can say something I like, leave a comment, and purchase that way. I've had a few orders on people watching replays, but I might try to do a video like that. I stream off my phone and record off my phone because I broke my new computer, y'all. And the laptop, I need to do a trial and see how my laptop camera does. But I wished if I had an iPhone, my children have iPhones, but I have an Android. Anyway, I might put up a video like that. I don't know that I'll go live with something, but I'll probably do a little something this afternoon like that. Get in a nice little sale before I invoice. Let's see here. Bye, Brian. Love you. Have a good day, Brian. Let's see. I'm looking for whipped cream and fine beans. Okay. That's funny. That's a letdown, isn't it? That's a letdown. Looking for some good old whipped cream, and you find maybe some lima pinto beans, which I love. But let's see here. Just checking my notifications. So yeah, I'm just enjoying meeting so many new wonderful people. It'd take a lifetime to get to know each one, but at least I got a little space of time to have interchange with them. Yeah, including you guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. I enjoyed it greatly. Y'all really just, your presence beautifully laced up this chat. Yeah, I am thankful. And I truly do hope y'all have a good rest of the day. Hope your week is easy next week. I pray for a lightheartedness for you. I pray that you'd be able to rest your mind a little, give yourself permission, you know. Check out a Mr. Rogers or a Bob Ross old video. That's a couple I can think of. I also like Jason Stevenson. If anybody wants to look him up, and I think it's spelled Steph. I don't know. You'll just look it up. And it's kind of like the guided imagery, guided, you know, like taking a walk on the beach. I fall asleep to him many times. So I hope y'all can have a little rest for your mind, peace, lightheartedness today and the days going forward. That'd be wonderful, wouldn't it, y'all? Thank y'all so much for coming and hanging out with me. Oh, Shannon came in right on the end, but I am so happy to see your name. I hope you're doing well. I thought about you before I ever started the stream. And I hope you're doing all right, Shannon. Loud truck. Yeah, he'd bring attention to nothing, sure enough. Sure enough. And if you need to laugh, watch Fred Flintstone. I love Fred Flintstone. The Smurfs, too. old childhood shows. I really like the Brady Bunch too. But oh, okay, Dennis. Well, no pressure for you. We got birthdays coming up, don't we, Dennis? Me, Jen, Richard had his. So many birthdays in May. Amen. I'll put that up there as we finish out, guys, because that's so true. Yep, be the light. Be the light where you're at. Shani. Is Shan here? Oh, Shannon. Okay, I got you, Shani. Yeah, Shannon's a treasure. Time to shine ever so brightly, y'all. Yeah, may we shine brightly. Sincere and genuine love, light, you know. Just, I don't know if my light would reach to the end of the world, but, and I know it's not my own light. It's light that might reside within me, but if it could at least just ward off some shadows of those that are closely connected with my life, you know, as we walk along, at least we could light up their world, then, you know. But the little helpers are everywhere, each carrying their own measure of light, goodness, and love, and I hope for more of it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Much love to you. Much strength from the Lord to you, any weak or weary hearts. And y'all take care.